You should just always be on the Discord. Just always be there.
Arielle in California. Hi.
Hi.
You're
How
live
are
with
you?
Eric and Jamie. Good. How are you?
Doing marvelously.
Well, I'm having a really hard time sleeping, and I'm getting more and more depressed every day to the point where I don't even want to get up anymore. And I talked to my husband about it, and I said, maybe I'll call in to talk Heathen, and he said that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
So what happened is I called you guys a long time ago. I've only been an atheist for like a year, and I spent most of my life since I was 14 being religious. And I'm really having a hard time. I lost all my community, all my friends, all my purpose, everything I was doing. I was in the ministry, so I was working really, really hard every single day and spending lots of money and a lot of time on it. And when I left my religion, I feel like I pretty much lost everything except some of my material possessions. But I know you guys, you Eric, and you Jamie say that there's community, but I don't feel like I have a community. I've tried going to the local atheist organizations, and I've called in on things, and I've been on Reddit, and I've been on a little bit on Reddit and a little bit on Discord and other things. And I just really feel lost and like I don't fit in here. And the reason is because I wasn't a Christian. I was a different religion. I've noticed you guys, maybe I'm wrong, but I've noticed that most of the people calling in and part of the atheist community are ex-Christians, which makes sense because there's a lot of Christians. But I think there might be some of us, maybe I'm not the only one, who feel like we don't really belong because we weren't Christian. I actually was in the church for a little while, but what I'm upset, I'm really kind of upset. So I'm sorry if I would come across as confrontational or something.
No, you're good.
I really like you guys, and I think you've done a lot of really good work. But especially Eric, I kind of want to talk to you about it because you mentioned this before when I called you. The pagan community is positively viewed right now by the atheist community, and that's okay because there are people that don't believe, but there's still really bad stuff that happens in the pagan community. Like you mentioned cultural appropriation; it's really big.
Yeah.
And I'm just I don't know what to do. Should I just walk away, or should I try to help fix it? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be the only ex-pagan, ex-heathen that's calling in someday.
No.
What happened to me was really bad. A number of things were really, really bad things that religion poisons everything, in my opinion, now. But the other thing is...
Book by that title?
Yeah. The other thing is that a lot of ex-Christians don't take me seriously because they think that my religion's just silly, okay? And it's no more silly than Christianity was.
I agree with both statements.
The other night, I'll just say one more thing, and then I'll be quiet and let you guys talk. I've actually had some atheists tell me that they think that I should go back to my religion because they're unbelievers in paganism and heathenry. And I don't want to go back because it's not, first of all, it's not true. And second of all, it's not just a bunch of fun. I mean, it's fun for some people, and I've seen a lot of people go to like PantheaCon and the big conferences and have a good time. But others of us got really hurt, and I'm not the only one that's left. And just to give you one quick example, you had the guy from the Tool Society call in and say those horrible things. Those are the kind of people that the pagan and heathens don't want to deal with, and they have to deal with them because that's what's happening. It's this rampant nationalist racism. And I actually put a complaint in against the organization I belong to, the religious church I belong to. It had 6 complaints in it with 50 pages of documentation about racism. And it was completely swept under the carpet and ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a lot to say, but Jamie, if you want to go first, because I've got a lot.
So as a quick side note, as far as the atheist that said, just go back to your religion, our number is 512-686-0279. To those people, whatever their gender identification, we need to have a chat because that's bullshit. Yeah, that really threw me off because they're atheists. But what I will say is I hope that we can help you find community. And yeah, to ex-Christians, there can be this temptation of like, oh, well, that's neo-paganism. That's weird. meh. And to ex-Christian atheists, it can sort of be off-putting. However, as a person who can explain what I was taught in Catholic school about the Trinity and the non-explanations about the difference between worship and veneration, yeah, Christianity's weird too. And if you weren't raised in it, it would sound weirder. Neither of you believe now. Shut up, you're all humans. Just be friends.
Okay. So,
which is more to them than to you. But Eric has more to say than I do.
Arielle?
Yes, I'm here still.
Hey. So,
thank you.
Absolutely. So I know I've talked on the show about how I've been diagnosed with clinical depression. That's something that's going to stick with me, and it's terrible. So I guess before we talk about that, we're giving you the biggest hug. It's going to be okay. And it's a rough time right now, but it will be okay.
I'm not used to being depressed. I have like the opposite kind of personality. I'm usually happy, and that's why it just seems awful. I don't know how you go through it. I really don't.
Well, I'll tell you what I do. I don't have a very high self-esteem, but I do like to see the people I care about happy, and it makes me happy to see them smile. And so I do what I can to help them, and it helps me in return. But I totally get the not wanting to wake up thing. Sleep is a liar. And it's still something I deal with all of the time. And when I say sleep is a liar, I mean, it's almost every day I think, oh my gosh, I just want a day home. I just want to turn my phone off and board up the windows and crawl under my bed and talk to nobody, because it feels so good, the idea of being in bed, and then I do it. And my depression is worse than ever.
Yeah, that's what's happening to me.
Yeah.
I'm retired now, so I don't even have a reason to go out anymore. I just figure, what's the point? What's the point? I got to tell you, what's the point of going on? Seriously.
Yeah, well, Camus asked the exact same question. Camus asked the exact same question. Why don't we just commit suicide? Right?
Well, I don't mean that.
I mean that.
I don't need to. I'm older now. I just wait.
Yeah, you just wait it out, right? It will happen. I promise. You don't need to punch your ticket early.
Global warming to kill us all.
My dad committed suicide, and I miss him all the time. Yeah. And I just want to say, whatever you want to do, Eric, don't do it, because people will miss you so much around you.
Well, and I have people like you. I have people like Jamie, my best friend. I have these people in the back who I adore. I have more love in my life than I've ever had before, and I get it in the most amazing ways. And yes, I do have a low self-esteem, and I'm working on self-affirmation with my therapist. But in the meantime,
if it makes you,
this kind of love is
at all. And I'm not just saying this. I'm serious. I think you're absolutely fantastic. I think you and Jamie are two of the best people I have ever seen on YouTube about anything.
Aww. I love you too. But I guess that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about was depression, right? It's not something that is easy to get out of, and you're handicapping yourself if you try and do it alone. If you haven't gotten some help, if you haven't checked out and started checking out medications, please do. There's nothing wrong with it. If you care enough about your car to get it taken care of by a mechanic, and there's no reason why you couldn't go and get other parts of yourself taken care of too. And even if you are doing it, for people who are watching, it is not anything against who you are. We need to do that. But moving toward the religious aspect of it, give me just a moment.
Okay.
Sorry. I was getting a dry mouth, and it was causing all those weird clicking sounds in the mic. So I'm actually staring at a former pagan right now who's in the studio audience. I have talked to a pagan, and his name is Ocean. Before he's called in, he and I have had a friendly debate online. And it's interesting because, I don't have a ton of experience in the pagan community, but from what I've seen, I've definitely seen what you're talking about, and I've definitely seen this kind of weird bigotry about people who leave, pagan faiths because they don't understand it when they, a lot of Christians come from a a religion that pretends to eat flesh and drink blood.
Yeah.
It's definitely wild.
Yeah.
But
in paganism, you don't even eat your gods. Oh, weird.
But here's the thing. There are a lot of communities, a lot of small atheist communities, and a lot of, from what I've seen, and Jamie and I talked about this when we were just starting to volunteer at the ACA. He started before me, but one thing that we noticed was that there are a lot of these insular, closed-in communities of people who are getting older, and it's not very welcoming to younger people. It's not very welcoming to people who are just coming in. It's this friend group that is saying, oh, we're the atheist group, and then giving it a bad name.
Yeah, we have it here in my town. Almost everybody is over 65, and young people don't even want to join.
Yeah, but here's the call to action. Is for those of you who are watching that are in one of those atheist communities, make an effort, because this is what you're doing.
Go to a pub.
I mean, really, honestly, why do you think we're doing this? Why do you think we're reaching out and saying that there's community? Because people need to know.
Yep.
And the fact that, Arielle, that you have experienced this breaks my fucking heart. It doesn't matter where you are. This is your community, too. You have it right here. Talking to us. We have 38,000 people in the Atheist Experience Facebook discussion group alone. Alone.
Yeah.
With tons more. I've talked to people. I have an amazing friend out in New Mexico. She lives in a town that is so darn small. Yeah. There's no way not to know everybody. And when you live in a town that is that small, you definitely could be the only atheist in that town. It's tiny, dude.
10 people?
I think it's 200.
So, I think
statistically, whatever. Anyway, the point is...
You're not the only not super zealous religious person.
The point is, though, is that not everybody's in a place where they even have an atheist community to go to. And so we reach out to each other online, right? Definitely check us out online. Go to our Facebook, go to our Reddit, our Discord, anywhere that you feel comfortable interacting. I definitely would love for that to happen. But if you're feeling this, then if you're in a big enough town, and it doesn't have to be that big, I guarantee you there are people who are like you that feel this too. Right? Start a meetup.
Maybe.
Get people together.
I could try.
There are other people like you.
The the pagan community here is pretty close-knit and everybody knows everybody. And I don't think there's too many ex-pagans yet. I think they're going to be. Because I know I'm not the only one that ran into all the bullshit that happens in religious groups. Some of them, and we're tired of being lied to. We've been lied to by a lot of our priests and elders, and it's just awful, Yeah.
Well, and then you also have woo. You have a lot of atheists and ex-things who are not skeptics. And so you have this extra layer of people who believe in magic still, just don't believe in the deity, and it's still not out. And so it can be difficult. But let me tell you something. I spoke to Dr. Daryl Ray. I probably already told this story on Talk Heathen before, but I'll say it again. I was talking to him about what inspired him to create the Recovering from Religion Foundation. And it is that he lives in the middle of Kansas, nowhere Kansas. And I know that's redundant, but still.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could just say Kansas.
Yeah, right? Middle of nowhere. I've been to his house. It's a beautiful home.
That's where Courage the Cowardly Dog lives.
Yeah.
Saying.
But it's greener. But what he did is he wanted to create a meetup to see if there are other atheists in his area. And I think he said that the 2 or 3 people showed up and he was amazed. Wow. Right? And they came together and they met again. And it was maybe a group of 4 or 5 people. It was not that many people. And one of the regular conversations that they had was that they felt alone. Yeah. And that was enough for him to go, let's create the Recovering from Religion Foundation. Something that has touched tens, if not hundreds of thousands of lives. You don't need to have a group of 500 people. You don't have to have a group of 50, right? But it would be good to reach out and find people. And I definitely got to tell you, it sounds like you have a lack of purpose. And it is horrible not having that. You have something that you were hanging the framework, this framework that you were hanging your life on. And right? When that goes, how do you move forward without replacing that with something? You need to have something to fall back on. You need to have something to move forward with and restructure yourself with. And the good news is that you have the choice to decide what that is. And I guarantee you that when you start to achieve progress toward the purpose that you create for yourself is an incredibly fulfilling thing. You have the right to assign yourself purpose. And I really hope you do. And if you need help thinking about it, reach out. I mean, we have an amazing community.
But okay, well, you're giving me some ideas.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. But definitely stay in touch. And I definitely hope to see you on our social media.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to Darwin's birthday party today, and I was almost not going to go, but now you cheered me up a lot. And maybe I can go and enjoy myself.
That, and actually, before you leave, we're going to put you back on hold, so don't hang up.
Yeah, I think our call screener wants to talk to you.
We've got some messages from the back room. So.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Arielle, thank you for calling. You take care.
Thank you.
We actually
that was a good call.
Yeah, we actually celebrated Darwin's birthday with the Center for Inquiry here in Austin. CFI did a really fun Darwin Day, and we were really excited to go and check it out.
Sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin.
I loved it.
It was fantastic. And sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin. We didn't bring our banner to the event, so I'm saying it now that it was sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin.
Yes. And it was fun.
Yeah.